Hello students, in the previous video we have seen what are all the string functions we have, and we have seen some small programs using the string functions, and we have also seen some programs without using these string functions, right? And now we'll move on to the two-dimensional array of strings. That means we have seen only char str of 100, so it is going to be a single dimensional character array, right? If I want to have a two-dimensional character array, and what is the purpose of two-dimensional character array, right? For example, in your class you have 38 students. For 38 students, I want to store the names of all the 38 students. Then in that case, what I have to do? I need two arrays, because one is used to refer the number, the other one is going to refer the length of each names, right? So this is nothing but a character array, a two-dimensional character array, right? Now we'll see. So if I want to store the list of names, right, as a table of string, then we can go for a two-dimensional array. Here I will have a table. So here the first one is going to be the one name, the second is going to be in another name, third is going to be in another name, fourth is going to be in another name, fifth is going to be in another name. So when you see here, this location is going to be 0, 0, 0, 1. 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6. How we access two-dimensional array? In the same way you can write it. But here I am not going to consider this as a separate one. This is going to be the entire string, the name, right? So here I will call this values to be in number value, and this is I am going to call it as a character. I am going to store a string. So this is going to be your two-dimensional arrays, right? Right. Syntax is going to be char string array name, and here the row size and column size. Here the row size is nothing but specify the number of strings needed. I can have, right? For example, in your class I want to store 38 students name. Well, I write it as 38, and column size will tell you the length of the individual string. So each string requires how many characters? So maximum the character size, maximum the name cannot be more than 20 characters. So let us have it as 20, right? So this is an example here. I have given char student 520. So here I will have five character arrays. Exactly, that is the meaning of this. So 5 character arrays, right? And each character array is of length 20, right? So this is going to be the pictorial representations of a two-dimensional array of strings, right? The remaining things is going to be the same as your two-dimensional array. So directly we'll move on to the programs here. So we'll see a small program. Write a program to read and display a two-dimensional array of strings. So how to read a 2D array and how to write a 2D array. It's very simple, right? So here I have declared char name 1020. So what is the meaning of this? I am going to have 10 rows, and each row is going to be a character array of length 20. Is that clear? Right. Int in. Now here I am asking the user to enter the number of names, because I have only 10. So I can enter the maximum 9 elements I can enter. So maximum 10, right? So scanf percentage %n. So here I am reading the number, right? So printf enter the %d names. That means what? N number of names I can read it from the user. So I am using the for loop, and I am reading using getS, and whatever I am reading, I am going to store it in a array. Now here I need not refer it as a two-dimensional array. Instead of that, I can refer what? Name of I, right? So name of I here, because 20 is going to be constant, right? So the 20 is going to be for all the strings. So I need not mention here once again. If you want to read character by character, then you need to mention that. Since I am going to read the entire string, just I can specify only the names of I. That is the only difference you have got between your two-dimensional usual array and a character array, right? Two-dimensional character array, right? Now here printf entered names are. Here what are all the names I have entered here, I am going to display it. Again with puts I am going to display. So here for the sample input I have enter the number of names, right? So here enter the number of names less than 10. So I am entering it as 3. Enter 3 names, just I am entering 3 names. So the entered names are, just it is going to print all the names, right? So what is the only difference? Here I need not mention two things, I, j, right? Because here the j part is going to be in character array. So I can directly write it as name of I, right? Now with this your things is over, the two-dimensional array of characters in C. Next we'll move on to one topic I have left out in arrays, right? That is going to be your sorting. The main application of arrays is searching and sorting of an element in an array. So for sorting means when the number is going to be in not in order, you need to arrange it in a particular order. That you are going to call it as a sorting. Either you can arrange the numbers in an ascending order or in a descending order. So now we'll see how to arrange the numbers in an ascending order. For that you have got so many sorting algorithms available. We'll see one basic sorting algorithm that you will call it as a bubble sort. And why the name bubble sort is, the light element, see whenever you have a bubble, the bubble will always come up on the top of the water, right? It will float. So here also the light element will be moving to the top and the heavier element will be, biggest element will be moving to the bottom of the array, then moving to the end of the array, right? That is why the name you have bubble sort. And this is not much efficient. Why? Because you will compare your element with the next element and that next element will be compared with the next element. So here the number of comparisons is going to be more, but it is going to be a very simple algorithm. So since you are new to this language, let us first learn about the simple algorithm, right? This is a major application of your arrays, right? So now we'll see. This is going to be the algorithm, right? So here I am going to use two for loops because I need to do the checking again and again. So I'll have one main loop for I is equal to 0, I less than n minus 1. So this I need to do it for all the elements from 0 to n minus 1, right? Now I have one more for loop for j equal to 0. So here I am restricting from 0 till my I. So depending upon the I value, this will vary. So j less than n minus I minus 1, right? So first time, suppose if I am newly starting the sorting process, then I'll have like this. Okay, we'll move on to that with example. Now if the first element is greater than the second element, you need to do the swapping operation. Why? Because I told you the larger element will go down and the smaller element will move to the top, right? So I have to push my larger element to the down. So I will do the swapping operation, right? Because your array starts from here. So the larger element will move down. Down means it will go to the end, right? This is what the main concept here. Let me explain with an example. So take this array as an example. At 0 I have got 6. At 1 I have 4, 2, 3, 4. So I have totally 5 elements from 0 to 4. So first time I equal to 0 value. So this for loop you will call it as a passes. So how much time I am going to execute this inner loop. This is the first pass. So for this first pass I will keep on executing the for loop for 0 to this number of times. Clear? Again I will go back to this. I will increment my I value. I equal to 1. Again I will execute this for this number of times. Clear? So that is what we are going to see now. So my I is equal to 0. So till I complete this, we need not bother about my I value. So we'll come to this for loop. J equal to 0. Yes, j equal to 0. J less than n minus 0 minus 1. Initially my I value is 0. So 5 minus 0 minus 1. So this is going to be what? 5 minus 1, that is going to be 4. Right? So 5 minus 1 is going to be 4. And you will have j plus plus. The condition is true. 0 is less than 4. The condition is true. So I will move on to this statement. So here what I am doing, I am checking a of j with a of j plus 1. So I am checking the current location with the next location. Here my j value is 0. So a of 0 greater than a of 0 plus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So I will check the 0th element with my first element. So here it is greater. Yes, 6 is greater than 4. The condition is true. So I will do the swapping operation. Swapping means what? Interchange this 4 and 6. So how I am going to do the swapping operation? With the help of one temporary variable. So this 4 will come here and the 6 will go here. So my array will become what? 4, 6, 2, minus 1, 0. Is that clear? Now my j value equal to 1. I have to go back to the for loop. Now my j value equal to 1. Now I need to take only this new array. Right? My j value is equal to 1. 1 is less than 4. Right? Condition is true. So a of 1 greater than a of 1 plus 1. So j equal to 1 now. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So I will compare the first element and the second element. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will compare first element with the second element. 6 and 2 I will compare. Which is greater? 6 is greater. The condition is true. So I will do the swapping operation. Right? So this is going to be my new array. Right? My j value equal to 2. 2 is less than 4. So again the condition is true. So again a of j is greater than a of j plus 1. So 2 and second and third element will be compared. Again 6 is greater. So do the swapping operation. When I do the swapping operation, it will become minus 1 and 6. Again j equal to 3. 3 is less than 4. The condition is true. So I will check the third element and my fourth element. Again 6 is greater than 0. So the condition is true. So I will interchange. Now with this the for loop gets over. Why? Because after that your 4 is not less than 4. So the condition becomes false. It will come out of the for loop. Now I have completed one pass. So in this one pass, when you see here, the 6 is automatically being placed at the particular position. It's the largest element. It has been placed at the particular position. Right? Now we need to make I equal to 1 now. Right? Because we have completed that for loop. So now we'll make I equal to 1. Again you have to start from j equal to 0. So when you start j equal to 0, again my I value is 1. So 5 minus I minus 1, that is going to be 3. So from 0 to 3 I will do the same process again. So again a of 0. What I have in a of 0? What I have in a of 0? 4. 4 greater than 2. Yes, the condition is true. See, always you should take only the latest array. Right? So this is my latest array. This only I need to take it as an input. So 4 is greater than 2. So the condition is true. I have to do the swapping operation. So after swapping, my array becomes what? 2, 4, minus 1, 0, 6. Again my j equal to 1. So a of 1 and 2 I will compare. So this is my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will check the first element and the second element. Again 4 is greater than minus 1. The condition is true. Do the swapping operation. Similarly again I will check 4 and 0. So 0 is lesser, 4 is greater. So do the swapping operation. Now when you check here, 0, 3 is less than 3. The condition is true. Condition is false, so I will come out of the for loop. Now I have completed my second pass. Now when you check here, the 4 is being correctly placed in the correct position. So last two elements, the largest elements are being placed at the end of the array. This is the beginning of the array, this is the end of the array. So the heavy element comes to the bottom and the light elements comes to the top. That is why you are going to call this to be a bubble sort. Now I equal to 2. Now I have moved on to my third pass. So again j equal to 0, j less than 5 minus 2 minus 1. So it is nothing but 5 minus 3, that is going to be 2. So from 0 to 2 I will do the same process. Is that clear? Right. So after that I will have like this, minus 1, 2, 0, 4, 6. So again I will check what 2 and 0 I will check. So 2 is greater, so I will place my 2 here and 0 will come here, right? So I will have minus 1, 0, 2, 4, 6. When I equal to 3, I will have only 0, 1, 1. So I will check a of 0 and a of 1. Both are in the correct place, so I need not do the swapping operation, right? So when I is equal to 4, it is going to be 4 less than 4. The condition is false, it will come out. Now the array is going to be in the sorted order, right? So this is going to be your bubble sort, right? Now we'll see the program. It's a very simple. Once you have understood the logic there, it is going to be a very simple, because I am going to accept an integer array and here I am going to have nij and I am going to use one temporary variable for doing the swapping operation, and then here I am asking the user enter the number of elements. So I am reading those elements or numbers into an array. So there I have entered my number of elements to be 5. So I have read what, 6, 4, minus 1, 2, 0. I have read all the elements into an array one by one. Now here this is our algorithm part. So once this is part being completed, you can go for printing the array. Now here I have not done the printing part. You can go for printing the array. Is that clear? So you can just print the array using the for loops and you can write the sorted array is given as. Is that clear? Right. Thank you.